Hello everyone, SpeeDMan here. We are back with part 6 of our Let's Learn Civilization 6 Brazil run. Where we left off, we are looking at the early beginnings of his war. He is going to be declaring war here, so we need to be ready to have somebody nearby kind of give us a hand. We're going to need him to kind of help out a little bit. We're also going to need him to be somewhat of a presence here, so that way units can be shifted over. What we're going to do is first we're going to just go full steam ahead with defensive efforts. So we're going to go ahead and start getting some defensive units up and ready. We're also going to go ahead and put up our walls. So that's the first priority. We're going to have better walls here. So, okay, so that's not available. That looks like that's going to be our biggest point of survival, is while we get units ready, we get walls going. So it's going to slow us down, but we also can do this as a counterattack. We can eventually develop a counter war and go after his other cities. He's got a lot of walls, so we'll eventually want to make an effort towards siege units. So what we will want to do is, since we're going to do a mid-late game pivot into a military run, at least for just to take down some of our Western opponents, that'll give us some tempo. So let's go ahead and get started. First things first, let's take a look at our situation. We have some of the prerequisites for some solid units. Yes, we can get this going, yes, but the problem is we don't have oil. That's going to be a problem. So this melee unit, I want to hold until I can have access to that. What's going to happen though is I need to have this, and then I need to have, let's see here, I've got everything else available. So really, once I have the swordsman next turn, I can technically upgrade this guy into an infantryman instantly, and then an infantryman will be able to do very heavy damage. So it's an option. What we are going to do now is, in this situation, we're going to take a look at what we have available. So we need to look at who are strong civs that have access to oil. So let's look at what the next best option for us is, and that's going to be this guy right here, 20 niter. Not very good, but just what we're going to have options for. We also can make an eventual run for this, but musketmen will help us a little bit just to get the pike and shot out of the way. Then we're going to need to get a cuirassier going. So, because once we get the pike and shot, then we can start doing damage, because the pike and shot is going to be the first threat. So we take that down. Then we start getting a couple of these guys going. He has a line infantryman army, so this is going to take a city down very fast. So the problem that I need to consider is, now this guy, go ahead, start canceling your stuff. Let's get you to spy in this area here, preferably here. And then see if we can do anything that would create issues. Get some information, maybe give us a little bit more advanced information on what's happening around us. In this case, what we need to do is, because this warrior is going to be compromised in position, move him over here immediately. That way we have a forward defensive man. Have this guy go here, activate this unit, so this unit's going to be usable, and then I'm going to need to do some work here because Shaka is going to be a problem. We'll want to go ahead and just get some precursor units ready. Could probably do a light cavalry and then upgrade into something. And maybe another archer. So let's get an archer first. Get walls in this city. Then let's go ahead and get pike shot. That way we cover our needs. It's likely going to declare war next turn, or a couple turns from now. He's going to denounce us this upcoming turn, most likely, so I'm not readying up just yet. Just need to make some more preparations and make sure we're ready to go. What do we have in Reina? So, yeah, that would be a good one. But let's shift her out. Okay, so you're in this city. You are going to fall back to this city, to Brasilia. You are going to reestablish in the capital. That way we can immediately provide in 3 turns more strength to the city. Good thing is next turn I'll be able to get some units put together faster. Good, so if he does have a small navy there, he can actually make use of that. And just keep looking around. So we do have another governor title. That will help us. There's the first navigation. Don't quite understand what the AI is trying to do here. I think, oh, you know what? I just kicked them out of the borders, that's why. The open borders expired. Yeah, because all those units are at the border again. That's weird. I'm assuming that's probably what it had to have been. In this case, you're going to go ahead and get defensive and ready. I'm going to save the upgrades for when I have enough gold to make this a lasting idea. So yes, I'm pivoting away from what I want to work on, but I should just consider getting a small army ready. So in the meantime, if he does do something. So what I'll do is get this first round of guys going here. So get, an archer, get the walls up, get a couple heavy cavalry set up so we have something ready in case we need to respond. And then we'll just keep everything else in the queue and just manage that. Okay, so this has been produced. I'm gonna go back to the stock exchange here. Gonna wait till this guy is done. Gonna do the art museum. Starting to get a little bit of gold per turn back. And we'll have this ready. Let that get started. It's going to take a while. We need that to be done. Save a couple turns. Actually, going to go ahead and we're going to move them over to Rio. I knew it. There was one somewhere. Okay, that's actually best case scenario. That's perfect. So first things first, we are going to go ahead, take that off, put this one on. That's good, that's good, and the rest of this is good. Leave that up. And then I do want us to eventually get more military slots, so we're going to have to consider a better version of government somewhat soon. And there's Muscat. Perfect. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll turn into another one. And that'll turn into another one. And that's going to boost us up a bit, and it's going to help us all around. Perfect. So now they have access to go here. I take you all the way down here. So a knight would actually upgrade this guy a pretty significant amount in damage. But we do have units in the area to protect that can protect the cities. So that was a good wake-up call, just in the off chance that he did decide that he was going to declare war. Kind of surprised he didn't, but that's fair enough. Get ready just in the off chance that something bad is about to happen, but I'm kind of surprised the AI decided against it. And another wonder. So it's going to be tough for us to get a decent age, but we do have Taj Mahal, so at least anything that we do get, we can at least secure a normal age. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and keep that scout there for a little longer, because 20 turns, you know what? I say that as I find another natural wonder, so I just boost that even more. Okay. So he's backed off a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and bring Pingala back to Rio. And really, I'm just going to have him ready, you know? That way I can have him on the dime, ready to move. I may just bring him down here. Let's see. I would like eventually to upgrade that so that way the commercial hub I have over there can turn into a +10 commercial hub, but not the end of the world. Otherwise, she doesn't really serve very much of a purpose. And then Victor, I'll put you back in Sao Paulo just in case you're needed there. But at least we'll have some science per turn and culture per turn back, particularly our culture per turn. We'll gain that back as that's going to go back up, so we're okay. Some losses, but if I didn't react and he just came in with what he had there, that city definitely I would have lost my capital, so I had to have done something. As much as I didn't want to have to deal with it, you know, I did have to do something. So I was very much thinking we were about to get into a war situation, but it ended up being the case that nothing happened, so that's all right. It's better that way anyways at the moment, but um, in the meantime, that does actually lose me some time. So in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use this guy to do some damage against him and make up for the losses that were just made because of him. He's got a lot of gold that I can take. He's got some science boosts that I can try to take, you know. Plus having a spy in the area, as long as I keep him alive, that's going to be good because I have more advanced notice. If I see troops gathering over here, I've got time to get ready again. And if it does try to do something, I'm ready to pounce back. Because then I can pillage a lot of stuff around here. Oh, of all things, Pachacudi got that. I should have paid attention to that. I got completely distracted by the war attempt there. So thank you so much, Shaka. Appreciate that. I should have been more careful. Well, I'm gonna get a couple envoys, so might as well put that to good use. Get that up and get that ready. That is unfortunate, though. I honestly was so focused on just getting ready for a war that, of course, you know, I ended up blundering what I was looking for with that governor title. So it is what it is. But I will be picking up another one in a couple turns, so it's still workable. That'll help this as well. That'll give me up another 4 culture. Yeah, that did really put me back a good bit too. We continue to boost our culture, our gold per turn. Keep mixing that up. Oh, good. So I can get all builders built faster. That's going to save me a couple turns. It works. Okay. Take this, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just further maximize this. Also may actually buy that, because that'll get my science per turn up another 10, and that can save me a turn or two on research labs. As we recall from last episode, we picked up, I picked up the Albert Einstein Great Scientist, and that puts us in a better position to go ahead and get the extra science per turn as what we need. So we're okay in that position. He sees a strong navy because I have one naval unit. I mean, technically, I guess I suppose it's strong navy compared to other AI civs. I may not have any. Okay, so to get that done, that's going to give us a lot of governor titles. So that's going to actually just in general going to boost us up a lot. We have a pretty good amount of gold right now, so can make use of it. I'm going to go ahead and buy something. We'll just go ahead and buy this. And let's consider what city is going to need a cultural or a population kind of bit of help here. So the ability is pretty useful. So you can see here, computers, that'll help. Let's the city build one more district than the population limit allows. Also, that's going to help. And the next one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably consider either re-rolling, or I can keep this and just deal with not having this and kind of see what else pops up. That is a pretty good one because it gets 2 charges, and that's very nice. Now you, let's see. Diplomatic quarter would be good. One envoy built next to a city center. Yeah, so this is a tricky call here because I have the option to go to pretty much any of my cities here, and most of my cities would actually be good with this setup. So what I want to do is think about who's or where is it going to make the most sense. I could build an industrial zone there if I wanted to make another one. Could also, try to get something over here. Problem is if I chop that, that's going to take a lot of value, so I can't do that. It needs to be on a tile that there isn't something, isn't a rainforest. Otherwise, it takes away the value of this particular civ. Right here is an opportunity. We could build a diplomatic quarter. Let's see here. An encampment would be good. That could actually help. If we do decide we want to go with the diplomatic corridor, yes, they'll give us a little bit better yields for some stuff, but at the moment that's not really going to provide us with more of a benefit. If we have military set up here, we put out a small military, take a city, I feel like that would be a little more action packed and we might get some fun out of this. So let's have some fun with this. Let's learn a little bit. So we are 9 turns away from having chemistry available. And Macedon, good. So now I just got some good amenities. That's going to help my overall yields. In a couple turns, I'll be picking up another couple envoys, and then that'll just go into a couple city-states that I need them for. So that works out just as I need. May do this so that way, because it's going to be a while till that city actually has the means to be able to get this going. So let's go ahead and work off of that. Now that the carnival is done, that's going to provide us with a nice benefit of some other items here. Great merchant. That's gonna get me some more points to that. This is likely gonna get taken, so that's fine. I can live without it. It's just a little annoying. Let's get that going. Just get you a little further back, just in case. Can upgrade this guy to pike and shot. I'm going to keep him nearby on the south end, so that way just have some information. Actually, move him north, because as long as they remain friends with him, he won't be a problem, and he won't bring troops through here to have an issue, so we're fine. Plus, having another troop in the area can act as a deterrent. So this looks like it's an easy kill, an easy take, and then boom, I can pounce on something that he tries to take. I'd rather set up defensively than be overly aggressive and put myself in a bad position. So that's 10 turns out. I'd rather go for chemistry. To be honest, I would rather go for chemistry, because that's going to give me the other stuff faster in the long run, and I'm going to need the science per turn. I'm at 216 science per turn. That's pretty close to par. That's pretty much on par with the general game. There are a lot of civs that are just very high science right now. Like, it's pretty ridiculous, but it just is what it is. Once I have research labs, those will start to really kick into a good effect. And once I have power in all my cities, then my cities will actually be like more powerful. To be honest, yeah, I can probably go and make a coal power plant. But the thing is that by doing that, if I get more floods and other things around here, it's just going to hurt my empire. So I need to be careful about that. I ran into that issue earlier with, without even having any major carbon footprint. I was getting hit hard by 3, which this really put me back pretty far compared to what I wanted, because I spent, upwards of like 15 turns fixing these for 3 times. And then eventually I was like, okay, I have to build dam here, so that way in the situation that something is made, I do have a way to prevent flood damage in this river, and that's absolutely critical. That it's very much, I cannot just continue to keep losing out because of that, basically. Kind of not really sure what I want to make here. I don't really need to make a horseman, to be honest. I'm in a better position, so I'll just make a bank. That's 5 turns away. Yeah, so in this position right now, we just need to make sure we're careful about him. Just keeping an eye on what they're doing. Let's get another trade route going. It's also going to upgrade my... Good, so that gave me another 17 gold per turn. It's the little things that'll help. Okay, so I have a campus, commercial hub. If I put a theater square there, that will not be that bad. Yeah, it may make more sense to actually chop it. Could probably take some cash out of this. But let's do something different. If he wants to mess with my, production and my means of growth, this time I go ahead and do a little bit of the same to him. Good, so they got done. That would give me, let's see here. Housing from buildings, from water. So we do have full housing from water. That's going to help us a little bit. Fortunately, it's not going to be enough. Then what we'll do is take you north. Builder's complete. I mean, aqueduct wouldn't be bad because that'll give me a little bit more growth, and it actually would help a lot. So we'll just go ahead and do that. That way I can get another city going that can have some decent stuff. You know, another city here wouldn't be bad. Or not city, but another district. At least we're in a good position to get this, so that's what we need. Just need to stay tight with that, and we will also be getting a lot of gold back on all those deals. You know, we lost probably about 150s gold worth per turn, so maybe 180. So that's going to boost us a lot, and that'll really push us a little over the edge to getting back to the AI. We'll have to think about what victory condition is going to make sense here. You know, um, it's none of we're not really competitive with anybody really yet with anything specific. So it's a tough position. I don't really have a lot of diplomatic victory points. So that's going to give us a little bit. What I'd like to do instead, see, that's not going to grow for a long time. So that's kind of a tough call. 36. It's 5 production. If I do that. So this actually does work out. I also need to get that guy switched over. This does work out because the thing is that yes, this may be a tough game for us to win, but this is an example of a tall gameplay run, you know. And what I'll do is when I make the playlist for the specific the Brazil run, I'll put in parentheses tall, so that way it's kind of a clear point as to what kind of gameplay style is kind of present here and what kind of challenges that we go against. You know, we have done our best to uh, keep things as tight as possible with regards to, you know, our overall empire growth. And that is a challenge. Let's buy that, and then we get an arena. Because then afterwards, I'd like to get a zoo, because really getting some more science per turn from all the rainforest tiles could provide us probably a good 20 plus science. As long as we can find places to put them, and that'll be really useful for overall empire. That's 1 turn out, good. So that's going to give us 4 more culture per turn. You know, 170 culture per turn is pretty good considering like we're in the top half of the game with that. With science, we're kind of in the mid level. So we'll play off that a little bit with the culture, and then once we have our in a few turns, once we have our chemistry going, then our research labs going, then we can really start developing from there. So what we'll do is in the meantime, we'll just go ahead and get some housing sorted out. Actually, you know what? We're 1 turn out from getting this. So let's actually instead, let's start working some builders. That way, if, you know, we could do a chop here. Chop here would actually give us a nice neighborhood location for us to work off of. It's not going to provide us too much housing, but it's honestly it's better than nothing. Now, I do want to learn a little bit about, also that's pretty good. And I very much, you know, honestly, I do need to learn more about how to. Let's see here. Allows cities to create products and tip of great work. Yeah, so what we do is then afterwards we do this. So we'll add that to the list. Plus now we have a bit more housing, so we're a little bit better off than we would have been before. We can grow a little faster. We'll get that going. Just get some production. I can lose a couple gold per turn, that's fine, but I need the production right now. And then we will trade with Pachacudi. And that would be these cities. We'll take that instead. And we'll just bring this guy back to our home. I mean, he denounced me, so I can technically declare war. I may do that, to be honest, because if I can steal a couple builders, then steal them and then just run them away as much as possible, or as fast as possible. Let's see here. So what we could probably do with this guy here is, or with the city here, is we could either get another spy. Let's go ahead and just get a couple of these archaeologists going. Let's keep making gold. Right now we do need gold. Got a good amount of resources here. We're going to keep saving up some of those resources, but you do want to be in a position where we can fight with that. That way if we need to buy and when we need to buy upgrades for units, we can just do that instantly. So next turn, let's go ahead sell some Diplo favor. We have means of selling quite a lot, so let's go ahead get some gold back. Good. Good. So what we'll do is we'll take this off. And then we can do a couple things. We'll actually do whistle banking. Then here, another lumber mill. So we got a farm there already. Let's bring them over here and get irrigation. We have plenty of governor titles available. So let's make use of that. Good. I'm just going to go ahead and at this point, declare war on him. Take some units. And then bug him out as much as possible. Personally, I would like to get democracy before too late. I'm at a point where I just need, in order for me to grow, I need to get some like serious economic slots going. It's actually what's holding me back from really taking off like properly as a tall gameplay style. In which case, basically what I need to do is get the audience chamber, get this completed next turn, and then get this truffles going so I can get my economy a little bit faster. I'm starting to make some good gold back, good, so that got done. Let's go ahead and get another trade route going to not really many good ones, to be honest. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and do embrasure. That way I already have defenses ready, and in the situation that I do have a war that goes on, I can immediately kind of pop off and counterattack it pretty quickly. So I'm going to bring you over here. And bug you out. and just kind of scout the area a little bit, get some information. So far, we're in a good spot. Yes, we are the pretty much smallest, one of the smallest cities, or smallest civs in size of empire, but we're making a major impact, you know. Just take some of his intel away. And then next turn, we'll just start to plug away at those guys, get them out of there. We'll go ahead and get this going. And in the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get a research lab started. Let's actually do this instead. The more these campuses that we have up and running, the absolute better. Just full steam ahead, full focus on science. What I'm going to do instead is save up the gold to buy that one. So what I'm going to do is we are actually going to go back to the archaeologist, just focus on getting that. I'm hoping this works out, because if we can get partisans here, that'll be a problem. I just hope they don't go to Buenos Aires. I hope they focus on him. If they spawn on the city, that's ideal. If it spawns there, then we're in a bad spot, because it's actually just going to do more harm than good. So this will be a learning experience. I haven't done that before, so I need to see how that's going to work. But if I recruit partisans here, and now he has troops, because he has those troops around, they'll probably spawn over here. So I hope that's the case, because we can get some like strong, because of the AI having such strong troops, if we can get some strong barbarians, then that puts us in a really good spot, because that means we can do some damage on these guys. Making 350 gold per turn. Back down to 311. 78 gold per turn. Boom. Now we're going to be in a spot where we can literally I'd like to wait for that city, because in a few turns I'll just be able to outright buy the research lab. And honestly, to be honest, I think that would hold more practical use for me. So it's most likely what our plan is going to be, is we're going to just use that as an opportunity to get some better growth out of it, and also just, you know, be in a better position. So let's bring this guy up. You go here. That's wonderful, dude. Oh, don't you dare. Don't. 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 Oh. Dude, that actually scared the crap out of me for a moment there. I was like, oh, this is about to get ugly. Well, I'm glad that wasn't the case, and it just decides to die out. Just go ahead and just one-shot him. Get that guy out of the way. They're going to go after him. And then if they can make it one turn, what I'll do is I'll get him on top of that, combine him, and then get the other one, bug him out. Oh, thanks. I love that you can't get it done, of course. Now you're gonna have some trouble. All right, so that's gonna give me some good food and also good gold. Then we'll get this lumber mill set up going, and then we'll be in a better spot. So what we'll do is this is gonna get this going, and then you're just gonna work your way out south. We're a few turns away from getting a lot more of our gold back. Yeah, we're a couple turns out, so it's about to get really fun here. Our gold income is about to just go up to 600 gold per turn. And that's really where the merchant game becomes really viable, because then I can just buy everything I need. I can buy the great people that I need in very little time. Grants production towards wonder production construction capped at half your current treasury. Then reduces your gold by twice the amount of purchased production. Okay, that's a little confusing, but that sounds OP. So basically, oh, that's okay, that's gone. Four more turns. Get trader out going to there so that way I can start getting over there sooner. Okay. Now we put that into that. Yeah, I mean, there's not really anything I could add that's going to be better than what I have. It's just unfortunate, like, there's just, I don't have enough that's available. I have very little space here, and some of the slots that I was working on getting, like Big Ben and the other stuff, got taken away, so I lost that opportunity for additional growth. It is what it is. It's just unfortunate. That's the nature of being a tall sieve versus a wide sieve, is the growth is less exponential. Yes, you put less resources out, but really the resources, um, that's probably going to go to someone else. It's probably going to go to Rome. They probably failed their mission. All right, when my spy gets back, I'll just have to do a defensive set. I already know that this is a wartime scenario, so I'm gonna have to actually get out of that war and then go into this war here. All right, Shaka. Since we want to play that game, we'll do that. So let's get this, because once we have that, then we can really tackle some of the other things that we want. And then getting this upgraded, that'll make my cities really nice. So we'll do that. That's what, 9, so it's going to take a long ass time. So if I do 1, actually, let's just go ahead and focus on that. Actually, oh, I just thought about that. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do this because then I could just buy in a hydroelectric dam. Yeah, I'll do that so that way I've got power, because then that power is going to be supplied to all my cities. I'm pretty sure. Let's find out. Let's find out. Because if that powers this city, then that becomes much better. So if we're at war with him, we're going to need to save up gold. Plus, we'll use that as an opportunity to get into proper combat. Now you, I want you to go down here. Priority is make a couple more lumber mills here. Get these guys stationed so that way when they move over, you can start making some upgrades and that'll help them. So I'm gonna actually want to go ahead and upgrade this into that for a very specific reason. If I can get these guys upgraded into field cannons, the field cannons will be able to hold these guys off pretty well. That's the point that I'll actually be able to properly compete against him. Swordsman is done. Perfect. Now I can make him a musketman. So he's going to be a very powerful unit. Let's make a core. That way these guys can do some damage. They're not going to be able to do much right now, but once they're upgraded to cuirassiers, that's going to really take them into a good effect. So, less grievances. That's not necessary. Campus districts provide bonus this. Because now my production is just going to be even better. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. So in this city, let's go ahead and get that. Boom. Immediately, see, 241, and that just gave me an absolute metric boatload of science per turn. See, 17 science and 10 more when powered. So once I have power, my science is going to take off. And that's when I could really try to grab hold of science victory that I've been wanting, which is good. Couple more turns of war. So let's go ahead and actually, in the meantime, let's consider what's some upgrades that we could do. You know, in a few turns, we'll be getting some stuff that we'll need. Buenos Aires isn't as big of an emergency. So let's keep our troops readied. And go ahead, upgrade to Archer, and then just combine them together. That way I've got a couple little units ready, and then I'll put these guys up to a field cannon. It'll just save me a little bit of time. I don't mind the 1 gold loss there per turn. That's fine. Excuse me. So what we want to do is take a look here at what we've got set up here. So this is going to be our goal for this next era. So to do that, we're going to need to really dial in a few things. So what we want is to see if we can get additional culture per turn. To do that, it's going to be from one of these other ones right here. So let's do that. Let's do a culture pivot. We're going to get a ton of science per turn anyway, so we're okay without that science. It's going to hurt us, but we're going to need the culture here, because if we can get democracy, then we can absolutely pop off faster, and this is going to be where we grow a lot. So I'm going to take a good bit of damage here. Let's keep bugging them out. The more we kite them along, don't have to worry about them getting hit. War is over anyways in a turn, so we're okay. It's a pretty inconsequential war. The nature of it, because it was obviously just to take a couple builders. I got one of them back, you know, or just one of them. So I'm also going to need to eventually get I don't know when that other spy gets back. I hope he gets back soon. Alright. Better not vote for me on that first one. You guys are fucking shitty, dude. Come on. Like, my own allies are voting. Like, appreciate you, dudes. Heavy cavalry, good. Don't care about that, and good. So those two are good. That's really bad. So any chance of trying to take this city and keeping it's going to be a hell of a lot harder. So that's annoying. The loyalty is not going to be a problem for these cities. They're going to be growing faster anyways, so at least that's a positive. What we're going to want to do here is once we have some of these other stuff, maybe have one city just do a carnival or two, you know, and that's going to keep us in a good spot. I'm a little frustrated, to be honest. I'm very frustrated about that because that's going to make this whole push a lot more difficult to maintain. Broadway, don't really care about that, but yeah, that's just a little frustrating. I don't really mind that he was voting for me for that. I expect it, but probably should have voted down or something like that. But I knew it was going to vote for me. That's why I was a little trying to figure out what we could do. But to have you counter spy. And then yeah, we'll probably do protecting the dam. I just have a feeling something might be problematic there. And then upgrade you to a field cannon. Now this is going to have some good strength, so these guys will definitely get a little bit of damage done to them. And I'm going to need more iron. So let's go ahead and get set up with iron. Okay, so that's a potential must-come-in. So we got a couple sets here ready to go. Let's move them up one, move them here. It's an not an army, but it's gonna have a couple other armies nearby. Let's get a spy. All right, everyone. I think this is a pretty good spot for us to stop at for this episode. We are getting closer to the late game now, and we're in a good position. You know, we are really starting to get competitive with what we need to be doing. So I'm pretty happy about it. All right. You all have a good one. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. And we'll keep the series going. All right, everyone. Thank you, and take care.